Before 322 BCE, the Indian subcontinent was a fractured landscape of warring kingdoms and competing republics. That chaos ended in 322 BCE. A single unified authority radiated from a new epicenter, the capital city of Pataliputra. A wave of territorial integration swept outward from this node, absorbing nearly the entire subcontinent under one banner. The question is how a single lineage pivoted from military conquerors to sophisticated cultural engineers. This was a highly structured administrative leap. A complex governance network rapidly wove across the landmass, replacing isolated tribal rule with a synchronized state mechanism. The Mauryan Empire created the administrative blueprint and forged the national symbols that remain actively embedded in the modern Indian Republic today. The physical boundaries of this empire were laid down by its founder, Chandragupta Maurya. Guided by the strategic intellect of his guru and prime minister, Chanakya, Chandragupta orchestrated a systematic rise to power. He secured his western borders by defeating the Greek general Seleucus Nicator and formalized foreign diplomacy by welcoming the Greek ambassador Megasthenes into his court. At the height of his power, Chandragupta abdicated his throne to embrace Jainism, choosing to walk away from the empire he built. He traveled south to Shravanabalagola, following the practice of fasting until death. This site remains physical evidence of his transition to a Jain ascetic. His successor, Bindusara, took the throne in 298 BCE with a strictly martial ruling philosophy. Known to the Greeks as Amitrochates and locally as Amitragata, the destroyer of foes, he operated purely as a military executive. Under Bindusara, the Mauryan war machine pushed deep into the southern Indian peninsula, maximizing the empire's territorial reach. 2 generations of relentless expansion built a massive geopolitical engine. Operating a machine of this scale demanded a new type of leadership. Emperor Ashoka assumed power in 273 BCE. His early reign was defined by the conquest of Kalinga. The sheer scale of the slaughter had a profound psychological impact on the emperor. Ashoka halted all military campaigns and formally adopted Buddhism. He replaced martial expansion with a state policy called dana, a mandate focused on moral welfare, social tolerance, and civic order. To broadcast this ideology, the state turned the landscape into a mass media network. Ashoka ordered his edicts carved directly into massive rock faces across the subcontinent. He then projected this influence internationally, dispatching his son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra to propagate Buddhist philosophy in neighboring regions. Ashoka's strategy replaced military force with moral diplomacy, ensuring the state's reach persisted through shared values and regional networks rather than territorial warfare. Controlling a landmass of this size required precise logistics. As this chart illustrates, the central authority in Pataliputra managed the territory by dividing it into regulated provincial nodes. Beneath this public administration lay a covert mechanism of control, the Guptachar Vyavastha. A sophisticated espionage network ensured constant intelligence flowed back to the capital. We know the mechanics of this bureaucracy because 2 definitive texts from the era survived. The first is Chanakya's Arthashastra, a rigorous internal manual detailing everything from taxation and trade to military strategy and statecraft. The second is the Indica, written by Megasthenes. This provided an external diplomatic record, validating the complexity of Mauryan society. The durability of the state relied heavily on this dual engine, Chanakya's administrative protocols working in tandem with the empire's military strength. Beyond written records, the state sponsored a campaign of physical architecture designed to outlast its rulers. Ashoka commissioned grand Buddhist monuments, like the Sanchi Stupa. Its scale and intricately carved gateways anchored his authority in stone. He also engineered towering monolithic pillars, placing them strategically across distant provinces to project the physical presence of the emperor. These columns served as permanent public canvases, deeply etched with the state's moral and legal edicts. The artisans achieved technical mastery in secular works too. The Dadar Gunj Yakshi statue demonstrates the signature Mauryan polish and detailed volumetric carving. The most famous artifact from this period is the Sarnath pillar capital, featuring 4 back-to-back lions standing over a finely carved wheel. or chakra. The state utilized art as a tool for mass communication, successfully embedding these symbols into the cultural bedrock of the subcontinent. This period of stability ended in the year 1855 BCE. The final ruler of the dynasty, Emperor Brihadratha, was assassinated, directly resulting in the rapid collapse of central Mauryan authority. The coup was led by his commander, Pushyamitra Shunga, who then established the Shunga dynasty. The core facts are straightforward. Spanning 322 to 185 BCE from Pataliputra, its administrative logic was documented in Chanakya's Arthashastra and its society in Megasthenes Indica. It was defined by spiritual tolerance, bookended by Chandragupta's Jainism and Ashoka's Buddhism, and the artifacts they left behind continue to project authority today. Brihadratha's death destroyed the geopolitical state, but the Mauryan legacy remains. Its administrative logic built the foundations of ancient India, and its Sarnath lion capital stands today as the official emblem of the modern Indian Republic.